ago, I made a video on my top 10 favorite Pokemon. And looking back and after watching it again, I realized I could have done a better job on it. But hey, it was one of my earlier videos and it wasn't the best. And in fact, I don't even feel like the list is me really anymore. I could redo that video, or I could just do my favorite Pokemon of each type instead. And so a lot of people get requests for that, and I thought it was a good idea just to throw it out there. Now there are 18 types I have to go through, and I have selected a Pokemon for each one. And because it gives more of a variety of this list and I get to get every Pokemon I want on it, dual-type Pokemon only count for one of their two typings. Now I don't think I have to bring up the fact that this is my opinion in the Pokemon I like. I'll be doing this list alphabetically because that way I don't have to worry about trying to order each type and it's already in an order and I don't have to worry about that. And so anyway, here's my top favorite Pokemon of each type. My favorite bug type is Ribombee. Now I know in my top 10 favorite Pokemon video I said it was Cutiefly because it was cuter, but Ribombee has grown on me a little bit and the slot really could go to both of them. But Ribombee's probably the more used one because it's the evolved form, so Ribombee it is. Ribombee is adorable. And not just that, I just find it amusing that a small 8-inch Pokemon can take down a dragon. Not only that, but its shiny is spectacular, just as good as the original. And that's really what makes a good shiny. I used one when I played through Pokemon Sun a year ago, and it became one of my 3 mainstays of the team. In fact, it was pretty much on my team from the beginning, and I used it to defeat the League. It learns a lot of great moves, such as Draining Kiss, Bug Buzz, and Pollen Puff, which can be used to heal your allies in the double battle as well as hurt your enemies. I just think Ribombee is such an adorable little Pokemon. My favorite dark type, oh boy. You see, I don't really like a lot of dark types, so it was really kind of hard to pick one, but I had to, and so I chose Zorua. In addition to being awfully cute, I love how you can send Zorua into battle, have it look like somebody else, and just completely mess with your opponent. I think that's a great strategy to play in battle because then your opponent is completely confused, wondering what the heck, why is this Pokemon using Dark Pulse? But on top of that, it's the only dark type Pokemon I actually find aesthetically appealing, so it was an easy pick in a way. My favorite dragon type Pokemon is Altaria. Now, this is one of those rare instances where I like the final form of the Pokemon just as much as I like its basic form. Altaria was one of those Pokemon that I first saw when I played Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. And I didn't really get a lot of time to use it since you encounter it so late in the game, but I really loved it as soon as I saw it. So, when I played through Sapphire and later in Omega Ruby, I had to catch a Swablu and put it on my team. In fact, Cotton Fluff the Altaria is probably one of my favorite members of my Omega Ruby team, and it really put in a lot of effort throughout the game. I also used it to defeat the first Pokemon League I ever challenged and won. In addition to that, it has a wide variety of moves it can use, like Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Dragon Pulse, Fly, I forget what else. It's really a great Pokemon. I also love how it's a bird, but it's a dragon type. I just think that's really cool and unique. My favorite electric type Pokemon is Pikachu, and that is my favorite Pokemon of all time. I've already told the story of when I first saw Pikachu and saw my first episode of Pokemon. Maybe it's just because Ash's Pikachu has such an imprint on my mind as such a strong and determined Pokemon, or maybe it's because Pikachu was the first Pokemon I really knew. But did you also know this was the first one I ever had? I started with Pokemon Yellow, and of course in that game, the Pokemon you start with is Pikachu. In fact, for a long time I actually hated Raichu because Raichu evolved from Pikachu, and if you had a Raichu, it meant you didn't have Pikachu anymore. My favorite fairy type is Gardevoir. In fact, I love the whole line. Well, except for Gallade. It's not that I hate Gallade or don't like Gallade, it's just I don't like it as much as I like everybody else in that line. And to be honest, I felt Gallade wasn't really all that necessary. I first encountered Geralt when I was playing Pokemon XD, and I knew I had to snag it for myself. Once I did, I purified its heart and raised it up to a Kirlia and to a Gardevoir. And it quickly became one of my favorites. I used it through all XD, and in Sapphire, and again in Omega Ruby, where it was a Pokemon I had throughout the entire game. It was really helpful in defeating Roxanne, and also with Steven's Claydol since it had the ability Trace in the League. I also used one recently in Ultra Sun, and although I wanted to try and use different Pokemon, I ended up keeping Serendipity on my team because, well, I really didn't have the heart into me to replace a Gardevoir. I just love Gardevoir that much. My favorite fighting type is Timber, and although I don't really like a lot of fighting types, Timber sticks out to me because I think it's really cool that it goes around swinging around a giant log. That was the most unique feature about this Pokemon, and that's definitely what drew me to it. I completely played through Pokemon White at the beginning of the year, and I spent an hour looking for a female Timburr because I thought that would be more awesome. Also, I had no idea I had the patience. Although I don't like its evolved forms as much, it still is an interesting concept for a Pokemon. My favorite fire type is Fennekin. Now, a lot of people don't really like starting with Fennekin because they just can't stand Delphox for some reason. I don't know why. Delphox is my favorite of the fully evolved 6th Gen starters, and Fennekin is definitely my favorite of the basic forms. In fact, once I saw the starters for 6th Gen, I knew I was going to be starting with Fennekin right away, and although I don't like Braixen as much, when I saw that Delphox was going to be a fire psychic type, that definitely solidified my choice. Fennekin is absolutely adorable, and I couldn't imagine starting my journey with somebody else. My favorite flying type is Emolga. I actually really like a lot of the so-called Pikachu clones, but Emolga would have to be one of my favorites just because it's just so small and adorable. I really like squirrels. They're fun to watch, especially when they try to get in your bird feeder and mess things up. They're just funny to watch, and the idea of a flying squirrel fits Emolga perfectly. I used it on my team in my White playthrough, and it didn't matter that I couldn't learn Fly because, well, I really wanted to use an Emolga. Plus, Iris's Emolga in the anime was just as adorable and just as fun to watch. My favorite ghost type is Misdreavus. Now, you can just forget about what the latest Pokédex entry of Misdreavus says, because I honestly don't believe that's true. I mean, Zoe had a Misdreavus, and she's just fine. I really love its feminine appearance, and I also like how it likes to play tricks on people. Plus, it's really the only ghost-type Pokemon I really like, so it was kind of obvious. I haven't used one in a playthrough yet, although I am planning to soon, although I will have to transfer it from another game. My favorite grass type is Chikorita, and definitely my favorite of the Johto starters. Chikorita is absolutely adorable, and it just looks so playful and fun, and I really like that Ash had one too. Also, I like its evolutions, which is really good because Feraligatr is kind of ugly, and Typhlosion is... well, I just don't like it as much. I started with it when I played Soul Silver both times, and yes, I know what you're thinking, you're at a disadvantage, but really all you have to do is get a rock type, and both Falkner and Bugsy go down. And I'd rather have a Pokemon I really like and be at a disadvantage than get another Pokemon that I'm at an advantage for, but just don't really want to use. My favorite ground type is Garchomp, because Cynthia has one. Just kidding, that's not the reason. I really like Garchomp's sleek design and how it's like a dragon, but doesn't look ugly like other dragons. But I really didn't have like a love for Garchomp until recently when I really wanted to use one because I kind of wanted to do Garchomp versus Garchomp. So I took one I got from Wonder Trade in Pokemon Sun, bred it, and ended up with Jaden, who has a perfect speed IV and is a really good Pokemon for the battle tree. I had a lot of fun leveling her up and using her in the battle tree. And then when I played through Pearl this year, I got another one and named it Janine. It actually got me through the rest of the game and through the league, where I did get to do Garchomp versus Garchomp. And it helped me win that fight, so props to it. But of course, even though it's not the reason, Cynthia's Garchomp does have a few brownie points adding it to as well, because, well, there's no topping that. My favorite ice type is Amora. I think that's how you say it. This Pokemon is just absolutely adorable, and I love its color scheme. I love how it's light blue, and it has rainbow sails on the top of its head. And Aurorus is cool too, but it just isn't as cute as its pre-evolved form. I had one in Pokemon X, but I just didn't get to use it because I already had the Lapras. But I hope to be able to use it sometime in the future. My favorite normal type Pokemon is Porygon 2. I really like the idea behind the Pokemon, and the idea behind the whole line that was an artificially made Pokemon that can go into cyberspace, and it was upgraded each time, but each time it kept failing. Porygon 2 is probably my favorite one out of the three, just because I like the way it looks the best, and because it doesn't involve infecting your trusted partner with a virus. In fact, Porygon 2 would have helped me a lot when I was in school. Hey Pearl? Did you figure out why this program isn't working? Are you serious? I spelled it wrong? What do you mean it's the only one I spelled right? I really needed that. My favorite poison type Pokemon is Salazzle. Now this is definitely one that grew on me, as I didn't really like Salandit all that much. But then when I went through Kiawe's trial in Pokemon Sun, I saw the Salazzle, and I'm thinking, wow, this is a really cool Pokemon. I kinda want to use this now. For Unfortunately, I found this female Salandit not on my first hunt, but I ended up putting the 3DS down, coming back to it, and then finding a female on the first try. Gina the Salazzle was one of my 3 mainstays in Pokemon Sun, and really put through a lot of work throughout the game. My favorite Psychic-type Pokemon is Munna. And I just love Munna's appearance. It's so cute and adorable, but I love how it's pink with the purple flowers on it. And I really like the concept of it being a Dream Eater Pokemon that's not creepy like Drowsy or Hypno. I used it in my White playthrough, and of course, as soon as I saw it when I first played White, I knew I had to get this Pokemon. I really like how early you get it in the game, and I didn't evolve it, opting to use an Eviolite instead, which actually did come in handy. My favorite Rock-type Pokemon is Minior. Now, I really love the concept of this Pokemon about how it's a shell, and then once you do enough damage to it, it breaks out to its little core. I love how the core comes in different colors, and there are a few I really like the pink, the blues, and the purple, which is the one I have. In fact, I wasn't even planning to get the purple. It just kind of happened. I got sick of looking for the right color. I just wanted the Minior, tossed a quick ball, caught it, and it ended up being purple. But other than that, I really like its diverse moveset. It can learn moves like Power Gem, Psychic, Charge Beam, and many more. It's such a unique typing too, and I sometimes have to remind myself that it's not a Psychic-type Pokemon, probably because the move I use the most on it is Psychic. Minior was just another one of those Pokemon that I saw in the trailer and knew I had to get. And it was one of my 3 mainstays on my Sun team. My favorite Steel-type Pokemon is Klefki. And now a lot of people are probably wondering, what the heck are you liking a keychain Pokemon for? That's what I like about it. I really think it's a creative idea to make a Pokemon off of the keychain. And once again, once I saw it, I knew it was going on my team. I haven't figured out a good enough moveset for it, and I wasn't really able to use it that much during Pokemon X, but I really hope to be able to use it someday, as it's a really great Pokemon and a really cool concept. And last but not least, my favorite Water-type Pokemon is Spheal. Now, this was another Pokemon that I got from Pokemon XD, and I purified it myself after catching it. It's so cute and so happy, and it was a critical part of my first playthrough of Pokemon XD. In fact, I was kind of sad when it evolved, because I really missed some of its animations. But I mean, Celio and Walrein are great too, it's just I don't like them as much as I like Spheal. And that's pretty much it. Those are my favorite Pokemon of each type. Did you like this video? If you did, feel free to leave a like, and you can always put your favorite Pokemon of each type in the comments below. Also, if you like this video and want to see more Pokemon content, be sure to subscribe, because more is definitely coming next year. And if you want to follow this channel and come up with updates and want to know when new videos are out, you can follow it on Twitter at VisitJoneVideos. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to get up out of here, but I will catch you later.